ask you a little bit about sort of the state of negativity in elections overall. And I know, you're saying these ads are not necessarily put out by you and may reflect at least some of her record or whatnot. But if we look at not only your race, but politics overall, it seems like, and I know we've lamented on this show, that it seems like you can't win if you don't go negative. And people say they don't like it, but it does seem to influence their behavior. And yet at the end of the day, I think a lot of people feel kind of sick about politics and they want to see it be maybe a little higher brow. How do you view it? Is it all just part of it?
Well, and that's why I think if you look at what's come out from my campaign, any mail piece that you get, you can look on there to see who paid for it. It'll either say authorized by a candidate or not authorized by a candidate or a candidate's committee. The ones that say authorized by Eddie Smith have very much been about what I've done, my opponent's record, and comparing those two. I don't believe comparing records is negative. I believe that's the facts. And if my opponent doesn't like the facts, she should have voted differently in her time in Nashville. But those are the facts. My record are facts. So talking about facts is not negative. Some of the other theatrics that I think other groups are doing, that's where they get the negative part of it. But again, I can't control that. I can only control and answer for what my campaign has done. And that's where we've kept this race.
Representative, I would like to go back to the commercial we were talking about. We played just a bit earlier where I don't know the exact wording of it, but it says something along the lines of she voted to allow food stamps to be used in liquor stores. She says she voted against a bill to ban food stamps from liquor stores. Are those the same things to you?
No, what she did was, again, they were trying to line up state law with federal law. So
right.
Passing that, and she voted no in the subcommittee on that bill. So voting no, in the way it works in Nashville, whether you vote no or whether you don't vote at all in the committee, or you pass and not vote, that is the same as casting a vote against a bill. So. Okay. So that's how it works. So if she didn't vote yes to ban it, then by default she was saying she was okay with it.
See, I think that might be a leap.
Yeah, because no matter what she voted, it was not going to make it legal to spend food stamps in a liquor store.
Because the federal law is already there.
Right,
so
right.
your position is that if you don't vote to ban it, then you're voting to support it.
Yeah, and I mean,
is that a fair position?
Well, I think you have to look at it that way because let's go to another bill that she didn't vote on, and that was to ban the state income tax. She actually skipped the vote even though she was sitting in the room. Well, not voting on that meant you supported it, and some of the comments later on that she stated was that she didn't believe that any revenue source should be taken off the table. The voters of this state overwhelmingly voted to ban, put in the Constitution, a ban on a state income tax. So you have to look at what they actually believe and what they stand for versus what their vote record is.
Gotcha. Now, she asked you on Monday to denounce these negative ads.
Do you consider them negative, first of all?
It depends on which ads. Again, I haven't seen one of those.
Is it fair to compare her to Derek Dooley?
I can't answer for what other groups do. I believe what they're trying to do is draw a comparison of failed leadership in both avenues, and that was just a comparison that they used. Would I have done it? No, you haven't seen anything like that come from my campaign. That's why we kept it strictly on the issues, and we've not done any of the theatrics. But I can't control what other groups do any more than my opponent can control what third groups do on her behalf, where they've been attacking me.
Have you been, horribly attacked in this campaign?
It's the same kind of thing that we're seeing, if you will. It's just they are kind of distorting the record that I have without giving the full facts. But I've been focused on knocking on doors, talking with voters, and not really worried about, complaining about mail pieces that have gone out. We've just been out there talking about what we've been able to accomplish over the last 2 years.
Do you have any input into these third-party ads at all, at any stage of the game, or do they just appear? And that's the first you hear of them?
They just appear. If I had any input whatsoever, that would be